Welcome back, everyone, to turn 37 of our 7-person free-for-all series in Dominions 4, playing as Shinuyama. Today, I seen you before, is joining us once again. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, and how are you doing, Totka?
I am a little bit tired, but we're going to push on and do this recording. I've been spending a lot of time, like a lot. I've been spending a lot of time doing diplomacy the entire series, which I have to say is actually one of the reasons why this series is starting to become very difficult for me because the email diplomacy, which I think I probably expended the most amount of time in, I imagine, than anybody else. Anyways, it's a lot of work, and we'll get to that in a second. Here's a sneak preview. Wah. That's right. We've been up to no good, but let's talk about what's happening this turn first, and then I'll talk about the diplomacy in a moment. We finished research and construction. Not much to say here, though. We're just going to continue getting. That's level 5, which really doesn't mean much. We're going to get level 6. We did find ogres. We cast blight twice. We did find smolder stone, which is +1 fire. And we also found burial mound, which is +1 death gems, in Erd, and also in Saboria. Those are the two places. Okay, I'm going to let you comment about the battle in Nidian Range, which is basically just an opportunity for us to look at the aggressive Agarthian force.
Alright, thank you. So basically that's probably not Agartha's main army.
Mm-hmm.
He's using one of his national summons called the Magma Children, that's reach with a high level of fire and I think high conjuration. I kind of forget because I don't play Agartha too often.
Mm-hmm.
They are essentially versions of a fire elemental that we get from our own spells, right? But they kind of have like a tiny bit of a variant for Agartha. Actually, Magma Children, I believe Ruax is the one that can summon them once you summon Elemental King. So anyways, they are
Yep.
really strong summons because they're the equivalent of the spell that you use, which are already strong. But one thing that we should note for this battle is that currently their stats are bad because we are fighting in a cold condition,
Hmm.
which actually puts Agartha at a disadvantage if he's fighting against Vanheim, which I don't think he is right now. But anyways,
Yeah, they're
at the
not anymore.
front we have Sentinels as well as Clayman. Clayman, everyone can cast it. I guess they count as statues to begin. Can you click on the hit point for 1 second,
Mm-hmm.
please? No, I know,
Ordinary
no.
human soldier. What?
Okay.
Oh no,
No. Can you click the Sentinel instead and check the hit points for a second?
it's like 30.
Uh, just click the hit point because yeah. See, basically, being in his own dominion. Yeah, what am I saying? He's not even fighting in his own dominion, so we can't see. Well, long story short, one of Agartha's national bonus is that when he fights in a one of his own provinces, or not provinces, but anywhere that has a positive dominion, those statues get bonus HP. So basically, those guys with very high protection, they're gonna act as a wall for
Yeah,
any army that's in front of them. 27 is really high.
it's incredibly high. I mean, what most of the stuff we see is at most what 20. Like Ulm's soldiers, are they like 22?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's with shield and
21.
everything.
And those guys are just pure 27. They are resistant to slash damage. They are resistant to pierce damage. They currently have a major nature blessing. I think he also has a minor earth blessing, so that's already giving them reinvigoration, which we don't even need because we're not alive.
Uh huh.
Regeneration to get them more HP back every turn.
But it says
And
they
they're
never heal.
mindless. They're never healing as long as they need to go to a lab to heal. So that's only one advantage that we have. But it's kind of pointless in the sense that if they're blessed, they'll regenerate back to maximum HP by the end of the battle anyways.
Oh,
If they
interesting.
survive, that is.
Huh.
Yeah. But however, it's okay because we're gonna use lots of magic. And we're basically gonna kill everything.
Yeah, and they're
Golden Path.
slightly fire resistant, but you think that enough fire arrows would still take these guys down, or
Yeah.
just purely
With
magic?
fire arrows, we'll definitely take those guys down if we ever have to fight them.
Uh huh.
However, our flaming arrows won't be efficient against the magma children which is why we will now start bringing in the Ubers
Uh-huh.
at
And
this point.
actually, truth be told, we're probably not going to fight Agartha, which we can talk a little bit more about when we get to diplomacy. And uh, okay, so I'll call this battle to a close because there's not much to see. It's just province defense. We just wanted to see what Agartha's bringing down. We do have to talk a little bit about them bringing stuff down at all. This kind of like, again, diplomacy talk. Excuse me real fast. It is going to be important, but next I seen you before to continue actually and talk a little bit about what Ulm is bringing. This, by the way, just to give you like some context, this is where Agartha moved in to Nidian Range. They're kind of putting pressure on Ulm, but Ulm is trying to help defend against Vanheim, and they've brought their army from Mightmarsh up to Iron Range, and presumably next turn will attack. So let's look at what kind of army they've mustered.
So, seems that Elm has gathered a mass of. Is that what's in the front? I can't really see on my resolution on my side. I mean at the north front.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I think those are mercenaries. I think. Okay, so they're using Chakram Forest. That's very specific, I guess. Oh, it's a nice mix of classical Elm infantry. So basically, you put the guys with the shield at the front. They're basically going to be catching arrows, not the militia, but
I
the
mean, I'm
guys
talking
with.
about the militia. I'm looking at the militia in the back. Is this to prevent flying units?
Yes, he probably put that on God Commander, so that if there's flying units, they'll just end up fighting against that squad. So he's protecting that commander
I see.
essentially.
Okay. Yeah, it's a
So
really impressive force, I think. Go ahead.
he also put a couple of mages together with the front line, if you can see them. If we right click on them and see, there's a few earth gems, which means he might be summoning earth elementals, which would prove very useful against Vanheim.
Hmm.
Or he could be using those to buff up those units. That's what we're not sure as well.
Hmm.
But placing them over there clearly means he's either summoning something or he's buffing that front line. But I think this is a bit unsafe because if you see, technically, those two guys at the front right there where you're clicking, they can die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
they
against
can die
this, but
easy.
but yes.
But Elm's army looks pretty respectable. All the backlines, the halberdiers, are they the black gods or are they normal ones?
Is there about these?
Yeah, the halberd.
Trying to get them
Halberd.
guardians.
Oh, guardians, perfect. So he actually recruited guardians, which is
It's
good.
good
Yeah,
against
he
Vanheim,
now
right?
has, yeah, against sacred units. So basically, if Banham's sacred troops get close to those guys, they'll be chopped to pieces.
Yeah, they actually have some in the north as well.
However, um, one thing that I have to mention that should have been doing here, right, is probably get some crossbowmen to
Yeah.
deal with the dual-handed units that Vanheim has.
Yeah. That's
Because
a good point.
they'll probably chop the front line, but the back line definitely has a fighting chance because of their long weapons. But you could easily prevent that in a way by using crossbowmen, so they would, in a sense, they would get softened up before they actually meet your frontal line. That's that's my opinion. What is missing from this army?
Now they have a two width thing of these heavy infantry, actually just infantry, but these guys no, wrong person. I want just the normal. With their length of 6, how far away can they attack?
It's just the square in
Okay.
front of
So
you.
they can't
Uh,
actually go through one square with their pikes and assist.
I think they can. I kind of forgot.
Hmm.
I think when something is above weapon range
5?
3,
Oh, okay.
uh,
I was guessing it was 5 per grid, but maybe it's 3.
but also per calculation, we have more chances of repelling attacks.
Right, right. That's the important thing, yeah. Which
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
make sense because the pike probably can't repel. It's so unwieldy, but I understand the premise. it's
I guess you
it's really
pushed
more
the guy
about
back.
keeping them at distance than actually, you know, parrying
Yeah,
something.
that's true. So yeah, and I guess he also brought war dogs.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how
I don't know
useful they'll be.
why.
Okay, well that's good. So that explains basically that what we're seeing here is kind of okay between this Ulm force. If it was against the Gartha force, it would just crush the Gartha force, right?
Um, they would have issues dealing with the magma children, depending on which terrain you're fighting. Because right now the magma children are a bit weak. If you're fighting
Right,
in that
that's true.
cold spot,
That's true.
then Elm would be favorable of winning it. But the problem that Elm has, right? Unless he scripted those mages to cast spells to deal with those magma children, he might be in a tough spot.
I see. Okay. So we'll just keep our scouts there and maybe we'll be able to find out firsthand. Okay, well then, Asphodel's army's on the move. I didn't actually put any province defense into the territory Elador, which we conquered, I think last turn it was. Then we moved my Shura out. So we didn't actually see what happened, but we also had this battle at Asphodel. We actually tried to attack the Carrion Dragon. And I actually haven't seen how this battle goes.
Yeah, I haven't seen either.
So I'll let you take it away, but know that this is our first time looking at this.
Oh well. I don't think our champion is scripted. He's gonna slowly crawl to us and probably die in the process.
Beautiful. I'll speed up to fast because we do have a lot of... Oh, yeah. That's a good start. He casted Eagle Eyes, so no.
Dust to dust.
And the Dust to Dust is just wrecking them. That's funny. Oh my god. Okay, so they don't even have anybody near us anymore.
Yeah, I think that thing's coming to his death, pretty much.
Tortuga-san did not even cast... Oh no, he did cast Flaming Arrows because we're... Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh.
And
He's going against the undead. And the
pretty
Dust to
much,
Dust
yeah.
is... Actually, it's not doing anything. Oh, we cast Falling Fires. I didn't get to see it though. Oh, that's it?
Yeah,
Oh
good
god.
game.
Don't let him get away. Don't let him get away. Oh my god, we took him down by 70 hit points from those arrows. By the way, he is flame... Shit, I can't capture... He is resistant to... susceptible to fire.
Yeah, because he's made of a vine.
Yeah, I was looking for this last episode and I couldn't find it. Or a couple episodes ago when I was recording. Fire darts. Didn't do very much to it. Let's see. I just want to see how much damage this is going to do. Okay, he's at 92 before the arrows hit. He's at 89. That's not impressive. Okay, we have like maybe one more turn. 83.
Gonna die
Oh,
retreat.
oh.
Oh.
That was a good volley. Oh, he didn't make it. Okay, good. He actually made it off.
No, he died.
But at the very end there, he moved and then he moved.
Oh, he got shot. No, he died.
Yeah.
See, the battle report says he died.
Ah, what the hell? How long would it take us to go through this on triple speed? Would it take a long time?
Just spam N.
Okay. Pause. Oh, not quite. One more. Okay, look, he's here. He's routed. He's at 11 hit points.
Just press the number 3 as well. Okay.
So he starts moving. Why did he die?
Oh.
You saw that, right? He moved.
Yeah. Well, he routed somewhere where he has no exit, right?
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yes, that makes sense. Okay. So that inspired this message from the AI. I guess this is standard. Anytime you kill the god of an AI, they send you this message. So, two other things happen. We had some more negative things happen in Stonegrave Mountains. This should come as no surprise. This place is just purely cursed. We have nothing good from this province ever.
What province has been pretty misfortunate?
Yeah, in the worst way. And then we have this interesting event in Florian. Don't really know what to say about it. Get Gramner the werewolf and a little bit of gold. I wasn't even sure what to do with Gramner. The only thing interesting about him, I guess, is that he's a beastmaster.
Yeah, pretty much. You can sneak around.
Yeah, he can be a scout. Wait, what's his 40? Yeah, that's not bad. So, okay, now the interesting stuff, diplomacy-wise. Well, I mean, first and foremost, not diplomacy-wise, but just Vanheim is trying to ascend. And we're responding to that. We know that this is happening, that's why we are preparing a big force here. Man actually has a force in Dragonbridge, a pretty big one, that is preparing to strike into Griffinspire. But just because this wasn't known last turn, let me explain exactly how Man is going to attempt. Vanheim is going to attempt to claim to ascend. So we know that they have 6 points right now, and Griffinspire's is an additional 3, which means they're missing 1 point somewhere. I have. We know that it's not going to be Chalad that they're going to try to ascend with because 1, it's not even taken, and 2, it has a fort, so it's well defended. So that leaves a few options, like Scythia, which they're nowhere near. They're not gonna. I guess they're not gonna do that one. Feasible, which has. Sorry, this is already one of theirs. No. What was I gonna? Not a Feasible. Oh, Fever Fence, mine. Yeah, that's right. This is one of the ones I thought that they might actually go after, because we don't have a fort here, and Vanheim did warn me a long time ago that he might sail and just take Fever Fence if we didn't take it first. Now, that was when Fever Fence was technically independent, so I don't know if he has. Well, anyways, the place he ended up going for was Black Alps. So he has 3 points, which puts him at 9 if he claims Griffin Spire. And Black Alps has been in Man's possession for nearly the entire game. What happened is kind of befuddling to me. The Throne of Law, which is where the Black Alps is, I should say the Throne of Law is at the Black Alps, is currently unoccupied. So that means that Man did not put a fort on Black Alps. Now, I've seen you before. Can you explain this to me? Can you possibly shed some light on this decision to own a throne the entire game? Also have it be on the border of a contested border with a powerful other nation. Can you explain why Man might not have chosen to fort this province?
Well, given that it's also in a choke point. You see Black Alps is a choke point
Yeah.
connecting.
Yep, this is all Vanheim, and then this is all Man.
Bro, the only thing that I can think of, right, and that's really, really, really not far-fetched, but I can kind of understand, is that he did not want to make a fort next to his capital because of the resources.
Okay. Okay. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Whatever the case was.
But it's still a throne, and it's still worth building a fort on a throne. So, yeah, it's not a good choice given if you have really, neighbors that seem to expand a lot and attack people every once in a while. You probably would not leave it undefended, even though it's right next to your capital, thinking, but oh, it's okay. It's right next to my capital. I can just send an army here and take it back. Because, if someone is right next to your capital, most of the time, he either brought a very big army that's very dangerous and looks pretty much like they're going to murder you, or he's going to start running around everywhere now and probably end up back on the throne and claim it.
Yeah, I mean, I personally can't see any reason. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me not to have afforded it. I mean, maybe Man, because he's also poor. He's in the wasteland type areas. He wasn't
But
able to make a lot of income, so maybe he was.
why would you build a fort on Halbatria instead of Black
That's
Alps?
a really good question.
It's a wasteland.
Yeah, it's a very good question. I honestly don't know. I really can't answer that, and the only person who can, we won't be able to talk to him about it until the end of the game. So,
Yeah.
now this is kind of good though, because that's 10 points, but we have our opportunity, of course, the one we've been prepping for, to stop Vanheim at Emerald Lake. Now, I said this in a message that went out to the Council of the Defense Against Ascension. That I just made up that name right now. It doesn't have a name, but the group of mutual parties who are trying to assure Vanheim doesn't ascend. I did mention that this almost looks too good to be true. I've seen this number fluctuate between 30 and 50, I think, but it just seems like, how could Vanheim just leave an army of 50 Shark Knights in Emerald Lake? I don't understand how it seems like too good to be true. It must be a trap. Like there's actually probably like a hidden army here, and I just don't know about it. Surely, because who would just leave Emerald Lake so easily defended? What do you think?
Someone who thinks that no one can reach him underwater.
Yeah, maybe. But does he know? He must know about Shinuyama's kappas. We've been using our kappas, you know. Vanheim moved out of Green Waters to let me take it with my kappas. So he knows I have units.
Maybe he thinks Shark Knights are strong units.
They're not terrible, are they?
Not terrible, but they're very expensive.
Yeah. And I also think that they're not going to do well against, the amount of the sheer. This is I don't play underwater nations ever. I don't play like, sorry, what's the one, Atlantis or anything like this? But
yeah, Atlantis.
But this is the strongest underwater army I've ever built myself. Now again, I don't really build underwater armies, but this is just the strongest force I've ever had moving into an underwater territory.
Yeah, and that's not too bad because we're a land nation, technically.
Yeah, and I only play land nations, so we have 3 Shuras. These are poor amphibians, I think.
No, amphibian.
Oh, they are just pure amphibian. That's wonderful. It's crazy too. A little bit weird almost. I don't know how they can move so well underwater.
It's an undead guy, so I guess he defies the law of normality and walks underwater. But for some weird reason, his magical armor, I think, rusts. So that's what Sam was telling you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. If we leave him underwater too long. So we'll pull these Shuras out after 1 turn, right?
They'll be okay for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how long would it take for something to rust underwater? A month? I think a month even would be enough time, to be honest. You'd start getting some rusting.
Yeah.
But maybe they're using magical armor too. Who knows? So I think that's the highlight of what's going on here, is that the Ascension defense. Obviously, the next turn is going to be the single most important turn in the game, because if Vanheim successfully holds Emerald Lake and they claim Griffin Spire without Ulm conquering it, and Man has already said that they don't have the ability to attack into Black Alps this turn. So it's just funny because Ulm even warned Man. He warned both of us, but he warned, therefore, Man, that Vanheim would be on the lookout for thrones, and Man still somehow left this unoccupied. It's just such a mystery to me how that happened. But okay.
It was just carelessness, I guess.
Now, I said this is a good thing, though, because this attack on Man has finally gotten Man to swing fully in favor of attacking Vanheim. So I sent, in order to sweeten the deal, I did send this beautiful picture. Isn't it beautiful? High quality art. I sent this image of more or less what Vanheim's current distribution of land is, with Shinuyama here, Man here, and Ulm here. And Ulm wasn't involved in this discussion, but just because Ulm has been such a good ally, and they didn't ask for anything from Asphodel, and I kind of am rooting for them against Agartha so that I don't want Agartha to get too strong. So I've offered this distribution of territory. So we're only taking 9 provinces here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ulm has been given 8, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And Man has been given 16 or 17. I'm not going to count, but a lot of good things. They're given the throne, which is here. They're given another 1-point throne. I think it's a 1-point throne, which is here. Let me check. Yeah, it's the throne of Second Age, I think, which is the 1-point throne, which is here. The throne, which is here, should be the throne of 4. Okay, I think these might be reversed. Which one? I don't know. Anyways, there's a throne here, and I think it's only worth 1 point. I think there's a throne here, which is only worth 1 point. That might not be correct. So, we're giving them a couple thrones, but... And I know that I seen you before was like, why are you giving Man so much territory?
Yeah,
And my response to that is, okay, yeah, because Man doesn't deserve it, right? Unless they earn their keep and really fight Vanheim hard, we had this long debate about what territory we should share with them. The asphodel terms ultimately ended up being this, where I got 6, and actually I got 5, and they got 4, because although it says 6 here, this one was originally mine, so I'm +6 -1, so I only gained 5 territories from this, because we originally owned Parthena or whatever it is, Pastena. But Man took it over, and I never requested it back, so that I counted that as one of his territorial gains and territorial loss for me. But Man was really, they wanted Asphodel, and I kind of told them basically in the peace agreement that, you didn't do anything, so you don't deserve anything. So I'm giving you this, and just be happy with it. But as part of my thing, I also said, because it doesn't make sense, right? If Man keeps going down here, his territory looks like a line. It's like too narrow. It's so indefensible. It's just not... It just doesn't seem like a good idea at all to like make your kingdom really narrow like that. So I told him in exchange for him just accepting this peace agreement that we'd give him a lot of Vanheim territory. And the reason why I'm all trying to do that is because I do want to buy time to make my own run for an Ascension victory. Right now we're sitting on 2, 1, 2. These are points that are not claimed, but just thrones we own. We're going to make a run for this one, which is, I think, 1. And that puts us at 6. This throne is 2, so that's at 8. So we just need 2 more thrones. And the 2 I guess we'll probably take are this one and this one, which means that, yes, at some point we're going to have to roll through Man to get the last 2 thrones, but we may have to reevaluate that. That was a lot of talking. What's your feedback on all that? I've seen you before.
Well, after what we discussed, I still think, but if you're giving Man this much territory, after we secure all the thrones that are close by to us, pretty much we'll need to kill Man off before heading for a victory. It seems to be an easier plan.
Yeah, because I was originally thinking we would take this throne instead of the 2 over here, but I seen you before made a good point that, well, I don't know. If we take this one, then we could easily take Black Alps. That's only 3 turns away, but this one's only 2 turns. No, it is 3 turns. I don't know. Well, we'll think about this. Basically, I'm already assuming something which is kind of a bold assumption. That we'll be allowed to take all of these thrones without anybody protesting. So we'll just cross this bridge when we get to it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But the thing is, going that way is that you also have Ermor right there. And
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of assuming that Ermor is going to be eliminated after Vanheim's so Ermor right now technically is part of the defense against Vanheim. I've been in discussion with Spouts, or whatever the Lich King, I should say. Shinuyama has been in diplomatic contact actually with Ermor, which is a surprise considering our view of them with the Council and the Living and all that. But, desperate times, desperate measures, that whole bit. So we actually were able to get them to go and take a Feasible from Vanheim. And this is good because what I want Vanheim to do, what I want Ermor to do, I should say, is start plowing through Vanheim territory. if they do this, this is the surest way for them to be killed. And then we pick up the scraps from that. So hopefully it works out. Okay, any more diplomacy I need to talk about? Oh, I want to talk about the actual defense strategy from Ulm and Man. So Man has a force in Dragon Ridge and Ulm has a force in Iron Range, and there was a lot of discussion about whether both armies should not just be sent in, even though that means that... So I did a lot of research into the mechanics, which is basically saying that I asked a lot of people who know more about the game than I do, and this is what... I guess this is how it works. If multiple nations attack into another nation's territory, it's random who goes first, but the nation who goes first attacks that province, so the province owner. And then if they win, they become the new province defense, and they have to defend against whoever attacks next. But if they lose, then the next person attacks the province defense as well. The one thing I was worried about is if Man moves in and Ulm moves in, if Man and Ulm fought first, then they would weaken each other. You know, there would only be one survivor to take on, and a very weakened survivor to take on the throne at Griffin Spires. But I guess this is not the case. That one person told me who, Sam, we know Sam. Sam told me with 100% certainty, he said that it's guaranteed that the armies will attack the province defense first. So if that's information that is wrong, then I'm going to point the finger somewhere else at Sam, obviously. But if it's correct, then thank you for Sam for being helpful on that. So that was a big discussion about what should happen, and I would prefer Ulm to be able to defend against Agartha. The longer this war goes on, the better. But sorry, I have sprinklers turning on in the background. But Man has, in the way he's always been, he's the most cautious person. He said, okay, I'm not going to attack Griffin Spires now. I'm going to go back and start defending against Vanheim and Black Alps. Now that's the reason why I think Vanheim attacking here was good, because it got Man on our side. But still a mystery why Man left that unguarded.
That'll be the mystery of the game.
Yeah, I want to ask, so I will ask this when the game ends. Okay, well, this has been already like over 30 minutes. This will be its own standalone episode, and I'm sure the next one, which is going to be the huge battles, we have a spy, or, scout, I should say, waiting in Griffin Spires to see the battle there. We have spies, scouts, whatever, all over the place here. So we should see all the stuff going on there. And then, of course, we're going to see what goes on in Emerald Lake, because it's our forces that are doing the attacking. So that's kind of like the exciting cliffhanger that we can leave this episode on, that there's going to be really, really exciting combat. Oh, two other things I should mention. We've progressed well. These forts are now two. Both Saboria and Feverfens, both the thrones, only have a fort that'll be ready in 2 turns. And on both of them, I decided to build a temple this turn. So temples will be ready next turn, and then fortresses in 2 turns. So we're making good progress. Okay, well, I'll give you the last word. I've seen you before. Anything else you want to talk about, or anything I missed? Probably something.
We probably could have mentioned the items that we're forging.
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah,
I think
go
we
ahead.
could just we could leave it part of a cliffhanger
Okay.
and show it on the next episode as well.
Okay, I'm fine with that. I mean, it doesn't take that long to just show, but if you want to discuss, yeah, we can leave it till next time.
Yeah, let's leave it for the next episode. I think it's coming up pretty soon. Well, the new turn is coming up pretty soon for us.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I mean, everyone is, because this is it. Kind of one question to keep in the back of your mind, well, anyone's mind, my mind, one of the questions I'll be thinking about is, what is Vanheim's response going to be if they fail?
At what?
I mean, they lose this. Let's say that what I suspect is going to happen is Griffin Spires falls, Emerald Lake falls, and Ephesibor will fall like in 2 or 3 turns, because this is a massive army of undead. Even though I think their strength is pretty weak, it's still going to fall eventually, right? So, what is Vanheim's response after this? They basically, I think this is it for them. Like they've kind of cast their lot. They made their bid for dominance, and I think that there's just nothing that'll go right for them after this.
The trick is like no one will want to go ahead and deal the killing blow, right? That's gonna be a bit hard to go ahead and deal the killing blow on Vanheim, so we're probably gonna leave him a bit like in a limbo situation like Ermor.
I don't care if that happens either, because basically when people are going into Vanheim to take territory, the only thing we really want to take from Vanheim is like just a few territories here, right? We just want to push our borders like maybe these 6 territories. I know I technically claimed a few more things, but it doesn't really matter. I don't really need those. I only wanted a buffer zone for this throne, and I wanted to be in contact. I think I claimed this one just so I would have proximity to this throne in case I ever want to take it. But yeah, my hope is that Airmore and Man attract majority of the armies of Vanheim, but I feel like we'll be getting into it. Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, I mean, if people are trying to slow down and think about the killing blow of Vanheim, I hope by that point we're already trying to finish the game.
Yep. Yep. We'll just swoop in and take the win.
Well, that's gonna do it for this one. Bit of a longer one, but lots of stuff to talk about. And okay, so until the next one. Sorry, I'm fading here. Until the next episode. Thanks for watching. I'm really excited for the next one. Anything else you want to say? I've seen you before.
No, I think we're all good for this episode.
Okay, alright. Well then, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you back for turn 38, the exciting conclusion of Vanheim's bid for Ascension. That'll be in the next episode. Until then, thanks for watching.